What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to part 2 of the mini materials. Part 1 was the unboxing, showing all the materials that come with the ultimate build kit. This video is going to be about building the wood substructure, so let's get it opened up, get to building. Oh yeah, we're going to be building. That's right, the ultimate build kit. There's the actual building itself when it's all done. The inner shell is actual wood. It's MDF. All of the pieces are laser cut. It's very high quality material. I mean, it's good stuff. The first things we're going to build are part 1, which is the windows and door. I think I'm not sure how many windows and how many doors it is, but I've got pieces laid out. So let's flip the camera around and get to building. All right, so I'm actually going to do a time lapse of the actual build, but I wanted to show you the pieces that I've already got separated. The first things are the windows. You actually have to have 6 of this piece right here. This is part B. You got to have 6 of this piece right here, which is part C, and you got to have 3 of these, which are windows. And I wanted to show you this, the actual windows. When I first got these, I didn't really look that close at it, but and you can see how these were laser cut as well. But you've got a film right here that you can peel off. So you actually do have clear windows. So that's actually pretty cool. So I tell you what, guys, let's get to building. All right, so as you can see, we got the windows actually done. I will say this, the super glue that comes with it, it is more of a runny style super glue, so be very careful. I actually did get a little bit of runoff on my end right here, but the pieces themselves, they go together really easily. Look at the joint. I mean, it's spot on. Very, very well done. Good, true, square, flush. So the guys over at Mini Materials, great job. So we got those done. I'm going to set these over here to the side. The next things we're going to be building are the doors. The door itself, we've got the door piece here. Says here, do not glue door into frame if you want it to function. So that's a good little note. We will need this piece right here. We need 2 of these. I need this piece right there. And what I'm trying to do is just sort of get a feel for what it actually looks like. And I also need that piece right there. I will say this, go ahead and do a dry fit. Like, there is an up and a bottom. It's not marked, but it's easy to find. So I personally am a big fan of dry fitting first, just so I can get a working knowledge of how everything goes together. These parts are tight, so honestly, as far as the glue goes, I don't know necessarily if you actually would need it. I'm going to put glue on it just for the, especially here on the top. But so there's the dry fit on the frame, and it looks like the door has 2 pegs, and there's this piece right here that we'll have to look and see how that goes, or what its function actually is. So I'm curious on this one here, but I'm assuming this is the part that they don't want you to glue into place. But for now, tell you what, now that we know how everything works, we're going to glue this bad boy up. So I'm going to break everything back down and let's get it glued up. All right, we got the door right there. I actually found out what this piece was. It's actually a door handle right here. Now, according to the instructions, we have a couple of options, and it all depends, honestly, on whether or not you want functionability with the door. You can glue the door in, but if you want the door to be able to open, you definitely don't want to glue it in. So I'm actually keeping it in place now just to make sure everything stays nice and true. So set this over there for now. And let's see what part 2 is. Part 2 looks like it's going to be the roof. So let me get the parts laid out for it, and I will be right back. All right, so I've got the roof parts, and I will tell you this, I'm not for sure. I don't think I'm going to do a video or a time lapse on this particular piece because, to be honest with you, there are no slots or anything. So basically what you have to do, you glue the 2 K pieces, which are the ends, and it looks like they actually glue flush. And then you take the 2 longer pieces, which are the J pieces, and you glue them on top like that. So again, this is probably the piece of the puzzle that if I had to show any kind of disappointment in, it would be this, because this is going to be a little tricky to glue. So when I get this done, I will be back, but wish me luck, and I'll see if I can get these glued on. All right, so this thing is finally together, and it was interesting. I wound up having to actually use some props, clamps, or things to actually hold it up in more of this orientation. I will advise to, when you put your super glue on, do not put it on these trim pieces. Put it on the actual main piece itself. That makes it a little bit easier, but it is flush, it is true, and it is square. So right there you can see the actual edge. So it is done. So I'm going to lay this over here for now, and let's see what the next section is. Hopefully something a little bit easier or not as complicated. So it looks like now we're actually doing the actual framing of the actual building right there. So the actual pieces, so we got a door frame, which I'm actually going to take the door out of for now. Let's see. I think this is the piece we need right here. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to get all the pieces laid out, and let's get this thing built. I'm ready to see what it looks like. Okay, I wanted to take a moment at this point in the build to talk about a few little observations. Observation number 1, this is actually not difficult to do with just by yourself, but I will say having another set of hands would help. It's actually, once you get one wall set, I actually had this wall over here actually fall before the glue actually set up. But once you get it to where these walls here are up and you can put the back in place, that does help out tremendously. I will say it definitely helps out. So I tell you what, I'm going to let this glue set up for a little bit longer, and then I'm going to come back and we'll start mounting it to the actual base. All right, we're back. I'm actually, what I'm doing here, I saw a little bit of a seam right there. I want to get a little bit of glue in that. It's actually, you know, the walls are set up. You can see here, we got the door, we got a window over here, and there's actually a window here. But once I got it flipped up, I noticed that this corner here had not really bonded. So, and that's what I've been doing. I was just checking the corners, making sure everything looks copacetic. So, let's see if I can ever so easily slide that over. Now, based on the instructions, it looks like you put this together first and then you set the whole thing on top. I really hope that's the way it was supposed to go, but we're going to find out. But I want to go ahead and put a little bit of a bead of glue. I'm not going to run it all the way around the edges. I'm just putting it on both sides of the holes here for the pegs to go in, because I figure that would be, you know, number one, I just didn't want to run a big long bead of glue all the way around, and I figured this is going to be the part that would need it the most. But I've got more than enough glue on my fingers right now that I think I can do without a little bit. So, all right, here we go. Let's hope that the instructions were correct, and this is the way you're supposed to do it. All right, I'm going to get the door frame part done first. I'm just going to try to work the front, get it close to the actual holes. Okay. There's that one. It is a snug fit, I will tell you that. And I actually like that. I like the fact that it's a snug fit, because that actually just makes it crafted even better. All right, see if I can get that in. Might have to actually maneuver it a little bit more. All right, I think I know what I did. All right, I need to make a small adjustment, and I will be right back. All right, so I actually made a mistake, and I actually put this panel on backwards. This is where I would give some advice. Registration lines would be great, like A to A, B to B, C to C. That would be really great. So basically, in a nutshell, I had it flipped this way, and it should be this way. But we're going to get it all fixed up, and I just wanted you guys to know that, yes, I actually made a mistake. So, and unfortunately, again, this goes back to why I only use a little bit of glue, is because you can actually, with this particular material here, you have a long working time. So you can actually get it took back apart pretty easily. And I think I can just lift up these ends here and actually get this back in place. That's what I'm hoping for anyway, because I don't want to take the whole thing back apart. So dry fit it before you actually glue. I strongly recommend doing a dry fit. And then go ahead and mark your own pieces too. Mark your own registration points if you need them, because that's only going to help you in the long run. All right. We'll flip it over this way and little tap. Boom. There we go. Right there. There's the building. Yes. And the glue was still tacky enough that it actually held in place. But right there. The next step, we got windows. The windows themselves, they're a little interesting. They basically, there's no registration points for the windows, so they just basically just pop in. Actually, they just pretty much pop in. So I am going off the premise of flush. Is what I'm thinking here. I'm thinking flush on the inside because I don't see anything. As you notice right here, it's just an open space, and the windows, there's no pegs, no nothing. So, but I do know that they actually sit outward like so. So we're just going to slide them in and go from there. And I mean, you can put glue on the bottom, but again, I don't know if I would at this point because I don't know. I really, truthfully, I wish there was some like really good registration points. I did notice something, and I'll show you here in a minute. Let me get this other window in because this actually makes sense. Whoops, putting that window in backwards. So like this. The door itself is offset ever so slightly right here. So that's a good registration line. You could actually do the windows the same as the door. But again, it's weird. If you do, I'm thinking flush on the inside, and that gives you that point. So, but there you go, guys. Right there, we got the windows, we got the doors. Next is the actual roof. There's two pieces to the roof. We've got this piece, and we got the piece we actually put together with the side beams on it. So, or the trim. So let's get this on here like that. Again, it pops in nice, and the registration keys are very well done on this. I do like this option because you can take the main roof off and you still have structure, and the structure is pretty huge. But then you take the actual upper, and now it makes sense with the side pieces. They actually, I think they lock this thing into place, or it's just more of a static. Let me look here. Flip this up. Yep, there we go. Voila. Boom. All right, guys, let me get this thing tweaked up just a little bit more, and I'll be right back, and we'll talk about this first phase of the build. Well, there you go. Yeah, the frame, we're good. We got it all framed up and ready to go. It is sturdy. It's a good sturdy building, but there you go. Again, the only thing that I've seen so far, and the advice I would give, where panels meet, if you buy this kit, when you lay the parts out, make your own registration points. And what I mean by that is take a pencil and, like, say this joint right here, A, B, B, C, C, and so on. You can do this. The doors and the windows actually aren't that bad. They go very easily. But when it comes time for some of these components, I would definitely suggest dry fitting everything. Do your own registration points, either numbers or letters, or even, don't do tick marks. Actually do numbers or letters. The roof trim is very difficult, very difficult. And I will say this, that it actually is very tight once you get it down on this piece here. So I might have to readdress this. I don't know. The instructions are okay. Like I said, the doors and windows are very easy. The roof trim here is difficult. Having to put all four walls together first makes sense because it's all keyed, but it can be hard. In retrospect, you could get some blue painter's tape and actually glue these pieces together and then put some tape over it to sort of hold it in place. But definitely dry fit everything first. And the next thing that I'm not going to say disappointed in, but it's a little confusing, is the windows themselves. There is no keys to lock them in place, which I found that rather weird, because the door actually had two keys right here that locked it into place, but the windows don't. I don't understand the logic behind it, because technically you're going to keep them from coming out, you're going to have to glue them in, and I'm not going to use super glue. If anything, what I might do is come in on the inside once I determine exactly where they go. I might take just a little hot glue or something. I don't know yet. But is it a very well built thing? Yes, it is. It is very well built. The pieces go together good. The tongue and grooves are great. It's sturdy. I wanted to give you sort of a feel of scale. So I got my snake eyes here. I'll give you guys sort of an idea of the scale for this. It is 1/12 scale, but a figure says a 1,000 words. But there you go. There's snake eyes right there at the door. We can bring over old Cap on the Punisher bike. So it scales good. I mean, it's a great building. The brick part is next, which is right here, or laying the block. So that's going to be a little bit of a challenge. I've laid real block before, but I'm going to have to really look over these instructions and get a better idea of how it actually all goes together. But as promised, here's the second video, putting the wood substructure together, and we've got it together. Definitely let me know in the comments what you think about this. Again, it's a nice building. And honestly, this would be very difficult to build on your own as far as going and getting materials for this level of construction, tongue and groove construction, the plexiglass. So, but if you had a laser cutter, there you go. You can cut the pieces out. But guys, that's it for this video. If this is your first time to my channel, please make sure and hit that subscribe button. Make sure you got notifications turned on. That way you'll know when I drop videos. Let me know in the comments what you thought. I want your feedback. It was a challenge. It was definitely a challenge, and it took a whole lot longer than this actual length of this video. I'm telling you that right now. And I did make some mistakes, and I'm not ashamed to admit it. And I think if the instructions would have been just a tad bit better, just a little bit, just tweaks, and if the parts were labeled, even with a sticker, I think that would have made it better as well. But overall, I'm completely happy with this build. And I hope you enjoyed it as well. So definitely leave me a comment. And always remember, toys and buildings we can build for them refresh your soul. And I'll see you next time.